In previous lectures, we have discussed the application of a diode as a switch. When we have forward biased a PN junction or a diode will be in the on state as working as a closed switch. Similarly, when we reverse bias the diode, it will be working like an off switch or an open circuit. So you will see conduction when the diode is forward biased, and it will not conduct when it is reverse biased. The same application, diode as a switch, is included in this application too, where the diode is used as a rectifier. What is a rectifier? Where we need this rectifier? Actually, whatever the power supply we get is 240 volts AC. So the mains supply is 240 volts AC signal. Now, for few applications where you need DC voltages, easily you can understand considering an example as mobile. Every mobile has a battery. That battery needs supply so that it can charge. What is the voltage which is needed by that battery? It is DC. But whatever we get from mains is 240 volts AC. Then how you are able to get the DC voltage which can charge the battery from the AC mains? You are using a circuit called rectifier. So you can say rectifier is a device, rectifier is a circuit that can convert an alternating voltage or current into direct or unidirectional voltage or current. Where simply you can say rectifier is a circuit that converts AC to DC. It can be voltage or current, both. So this conversion from AC to DC, that means input of this rectifier circuit or device is AC, the output is DC. Why we need this? Wherever we require DC voltages for any inputs, to run any machines, to run any motors or to charge batteries, you need DC supplies. Then whatever the supply we get from the mains, which is in AC form, is converted into DC using these rectifier circuits. So we will see the definition that rectifier is an electronic device which is used for converting alternating voltage or current into unidirectional, that is direct voltage or current. So definitely the rectifier input is AC signal and the output is DC signal. So DC value is a unidirectional value. Alternating current or alternating values quantities will have different values with respect to time, and you will have both positive and negative values. So this rectifier, wherever you require DC voltages, whenever you want to get DC voltages from the applied AC mains, then you can use this type of circuit which is termed as rectifier. Now we can take that common example. You have AC mains which is giving 240 volts. Now that is your load, which is your mobile. You want to charge it, so then you need a DC supply. Then how you can do it? Then this AC signal is stepped down by a step down transformer. This step down transformer means whatever 240 volts AC signal is there, that is decreased to a value which is required according to the application. If your battery, whatever you are using for your mobile, require 5 volts DC voltage, then this signal is stepped down to 5 volts AC. So this 5 volts is AC signal, what you see at the secondary of the transformer. This 5 volts AC signal is applied as input to the rectifier block. So this rectifier block, what it consists of, what are the components you use it, we will see next to this topic. But this rectifier will take AC as an input signal and the output is a DC signal. If you are unable to get the pure DC signal, you will add some filter component which will filter out that additional ripple and you will get DC value. Once you have got DC value, it should be a regulated value. So you will be using a voltage regulator. All these things happen from your AC mains to charge the battery of your mobile. So this is done by this adapter, what you are using for charging your mobile whenever you require to charge your battery. So this is the process which is happening to convert AC to DC. We will see in depth how this conversion is done because of this rectifier circuits. You have different types of rectifier circuits. So we will see the classification of rectifiers. Rectifiers can be broadly classified into two categories. One is half-wave rectifier, another one is full-wave rectifier. So this half-wave rectifier consists of a single diode where the circuit seems very simple. So you will connect to the AC signal and you are using a diode here that is connected to the required load. So this required load can be any motor or any battery, wherever you require a DC signal that is connected to this. So this is a simple circuit which represents a half-wave rectifier. So a single diode is used in this half-wave rectifier. Next to this is full-wave rectifier. Again, the full-wave rectifier is subclassified as center-tapped full-wave rectifier and bridge rectifier. As the name says, full-wave rectifier. Here it is half-wave rectifier. Now, whatever the half-wave which is rectified here, other than that, you can see full-wave rectification. But you have center-tapped full-wave rectifier and bridge rectifier. Center-tapped, as the name says, you are using a transformer which is a center-tapped transformer. So whatever the input you apply at the primary, you will see a center tap at the secondary transformer. So this input is equally given to upper half and lower half of your center tap transformer. We will see in detail when we are going through the operation of a full wave rectifier. Again, another full wave rectifier is a bridge rectifier. As you see, two diodes in this full wave rectifier, but bridge rectifier requires 4 diodes for full wave rectification. But it has eliminated the use of center tapped transformer. So instead of using a center tapped transformer, you have used a normal transformer, or it is exhibiting the secondary transformer where you have got step down AC signal which is given as input here. But what is the difference? Main difference, you will not see center tap transformer at the bridge rectifier. The two diodes which you see in the center tap transformer are replaced with the bridge rectifier. So this is full wave rectifier where you see full wave rectification when compared to half wave rectifier. We will see one by one the 3 rectifiers, how it operates, what is the output of these rectifiers, how is the ripple content, or whether you have pure DC or not at the output of this rectifier. So we will check it out. We will move to the first rectifier, which is half-wave rectifier. So as the name says, half-wave rectifier. Why it is called as half-wave rectifier, we will know with the operation of this circuit. So as you see here, this half-wave rectifier, AC input signal is given from AC line voltage, which is 240 volts. Now this is applied to the primary of the transformer. It is step down, and the step down voltage, you are mentioning it as input voltage, VI or VS, which is signal voltage, VI or VS. So it is the sinusoidal signal, same sinusoidal signal, what you have applied at the input, but this has been stepped down. The peak to peak voltage will be lesser as you have used a step down transformer. Now you are connecting this signal to a diode, and whatever the load you want to connect, which load it needs DC signal, that is connected as load to the diode. So now this diode is an ideal diode. You can represent a practical diode where I have represented here with a cutting voltage V gamma, or you can mention it as diode voltage, which is 0.7 ohms with some diode resistance. Practically, it will exhibit the resistance value. So let us consider, now you have applied a sinusoidal waveform AC signal from the mains 240 volts to the primary of the transformer. Let us check how this circuit will operate and what is the output which is taken across the load resistor. So load resistor means the load is a symbolic representation of any of the load what you have connected. It can be a motor, it can be the mobile, wherever you need, it can be a DC battery, wherever you need DC voltage, that can be connected as load to this half wave rectifier output. Now let us see the operation. Now if you see, I have given a sinusoidal waveform. This indicates the secondary of the transformer, which is a step down the voltage, which is connected to the diode. You have a load resistor connected to the diode. Now, during positive half cycle, first we will consider when you apply a positive half cycle. What happens when you apply a positive half cycle? So, as you apply a positive half cycle, positive connected to P-type material. When positive is connected to P-type material, diode will be forward biased. How it will work? It will work like a closed switch. It will work like an on switch. So there will be conduction through the diode. So here also you can see conduction through the diode because as it's a closed circuit. As the current is flowing through the device, you can see the current in the loop through the load resistor. So you can see the voltage across the load resistor too. So this is represented here again with a positive voltage. You have applied a positive voltage, diode is on. So because of that, if you check, the first output for the positive half cycle is same as your input because no other operation is done here. Only simply you are passing the positive half cycle through the diode and you are able to observe at the load resistor. So because this is simply a closed circuit, which is a closed switch. So because of that, whatever you have given as input at the input of your rectifier circuit, same thing you can see for the positive half cycle at the output of the rectifier circuit across the load. Now, let us go for the second part, which is when you have applied a negative half cycle. When you have applied a negative half cycle, here negative is applied to the diode P region. So because of this, you see the diode is a reverse bias. When the diode is reverse biased, it will work like an open switch, off switch. So there will be no conduction. There will be no conduction through the device as the circuit is open. So you will not see any current through the loop or any current through your load resistor too. So the output voltage is 0. Here, whatever the input you have given, output is equal to input. But here, output equals to 0. So for the negative half cycles, your diode is open, making an open circuit. There will be no conduction through the device. So for the negative half cycle, there is no output. It is 0. Again, one cycle is finished, positive and negative. Again, you will be applying positive. So again, what happens? It will be on. Output is equal to input. So it will conduct. So you will get second half cycle. Again, you are applying a negative half cycle. Diode will be off. So you will not be getting the output. So you can say only half of the wave is rectified. So because of that, you have termed this rectifier when you are using a single diode for rectification as half wave rectifier. And if you see, is it a rectifier? The input is AC. Output, is it DC? Let us check. AC means you should have both positive and negative values as you see here, and the value is changing with respect to time. So this is an AC signal what you have given. But if you check here, DC means it should be unidirectional. That means either it should have positive values, either it should have negative values. So this negative values or either it should have positive values. You can see here in the circuit, there are no negative values, all are positive values. So one of the conditions of DC is satisfied. And you should have a constant value. Is it so? No. You see a change in the values. Why? Because the output, what you see here is not pure DC. It is a DC value, but still you have AC content present in it. The AC content which is present in the DC output value, you name it as a ripple. So the output of the rectifier is not pure DC. It consists of some AC signal. Still, it is unable to rectify completely. You are having AC content in the output of this half wave rectifier. How much is this AC content? We will find it out. But as you can graphically see, the output is not there for negative half cycles. So the efficiency is below 50% because the positive half cycles you are getting the output, but still it is not constant. So you can't say you have got pure DC. You have pulses in it, you have AC content in it, you have ripples in it. So whatever the AC content which is present in the DC signal, you name it as ripples, pulses, and you name it as the AC content in the DC value, which you call as pulsating DC. Why you are getting pulsating DC? DC consists of still more AC content in it. It's not pure DC. So you term it as pulsating DC. So this half wave rectifier is able to convert AC content into pulsating DC, not pure DC. So this pulsating DC has ripples in it, has AC content in it, which you need to filter it out. We can add some filter components and we can filter it. But as long as we get this rectification for half of the wave only for the positive half cycles, we are naming this rectifier as half wave rectifier. And the efficiency is lesser than 50%, and you are not able to get a constant values at positive half cycles too. You can say the efficiency is 40.6%. We will derive this mathematically too. But the efficiency of half wave rectifier is lesser than 50%, which is about 40.6%. So now this is about half wave rectifier. The second rectifier is full wave rectifier. How many types we have? We have two types of full wave rectifier. One is using center tap transformer. One is using bridge rectifier. That means using 4 diodes while they have connected in the form of a bridge. Now we can go with the full wave rectifier with 2 diodes. That means additionally you have added one more diode to the half wave rectifier along with the center tap transformer, which will give you a full wave rectification. We have to check. In half wave, when you have used a single diode, only half of the wave is rectified. Now we will use one more diode so that we can get full wave rectification. But we have to check how this operates. Accordingly, we will know whether full wave rectification can be done using this center tapped full wave rectifier. So we will go with the same process as we have seen in the half wave rectifier, both for positive half cycle and for the negative half cycle. So let us consider for the positive half cycle. When I have applied a positive half cycle, the center tap transformer primary is applied a positive half cycle. This is given equally to upper half and lower half of the transformer of the secondary. Now, this is again positive at this node, negative at the center, positive at the center and negative to this. That means the upper half voltage, what you have applied to the secondary upper half is forward biasing diode D1. Similarly, negative is applied to p-type layer, so it is reverse biasing the diode. So because of this, D1 will be on, D2 will be off. So the current will be flowing through D1 where you see conduction through the circuit through the load resistor. So you see current flowing through the load resistor. So whatever input you have applied, definitely you will see output here. That means same positive half cycle. But you will not see any current through this diode as it is in the off state. So D2 is off, D1 is on. So for the positive half cycle, diode D1 conducts giving same output across the load resistor, whatever the input we have applied. If you go for the secondary transformer, when you have applied a negative half cycle, this is again given to upper half and lower half of the secondary. So you will apply a negative voltage here, positive at the center tap. So again this node voltage will be negative because same voltage, same negative half cycle is given to lower half of the secondary transformer. Negative here at this node, positive to p-type negative. So as negative we have applied, this is off. So this will not conduct, D1 is off. Now this positive is applied to D2. So this will be in the on state. So this will conduct. So your current will pass through diode D2 to this node, but it can't travel through to this node because this is already open as the diode is in the off state. So at this node, it will go through load resistor RL because this branch is open as the diode is off. So the current flows through load resistor. So for the negative half cycle too, you see a flow of current through the load resistor. So definitely you will get the output voltage. So for the negative half cycle also, you are able to get the output. For positive half cycle, D1 is on, D2 is off. But for the negative half cycle, D2 is on and D1 is off. But whatever may be, whichever diode is on, you are able to see current flowing through the load resistor and you are able to find voltage across the load resistor where for both positive and negative half cycles. You see sinusoids again at positive and negative half cycles. But I have indicated for positive half cycle, a positive half cycle at the output. For the negative half cycle, a positive half cycle. Why? Because the current direction, whether you have applied a positive half cycle or a negative half cycle, the current direction is in the same way. So because of that, you have represented the voltage what you have seen at the output is a positive value for both positive and negative half cycles. Now, as you are able to get output for both positive and negative half cycles, you say this as full wave rectifier. It is able to rectify for both the half cycles, positive and negative half cycles. But still you are unable to see pure DC. What do you call it as? You call it as pulsating DC. Because this full wave rectifier, you are able to get output for positive and negative half cycles, but it's not pure DC again. It's not a constant direct value. Still you have pulses in it. Still you have ripple content in it. Still you have AC content in it. So this is a pulsating DC again. But the efficiency is much far better than half wave rectifier because you are able to get output for negative half cycle too. So the efficiency is 81.2%. You are able to get DC signal, which is where you can see all positive values here, but still it is changing with respect to time. So you see a continuous change in the voltage with respect to time. So you can't say that it's a pure DC value. It consists of AC signal still. So you name it as pulsating DC. So this full wave rectifier also have converted AC signal into pulsating DC. So this is about full wave rectifier. But if we want pure DC, the output again we have to filter it out using filter components so that we can get pure DC signal. So this is about full wave rectifier with center tap transformer. In the next lecture, we will see about the next full wave rectifier, which is named as bridge rectifier, taking 4 diodes but eliminating this center tap transformer. Why to eliminate? This center tap transformer actually occupies more space and it is more bulky. So we can get full wave rectification when compared to half wave, but this circuit is bulky. So to replace this, we have replaced this with a normal transformer, but that replacement is done with the addition of 2 extra diodes along with D1 and D2. So this will advantage with the additional values where you will get full rectification, but still you will have 4 diodes instead of using 2 diodes. But this is eliminated. So this is a disadvantage in center tap full wave rectifier, but a bridge rectifier eliminates this with the addition of 2 diodes to give full wave rectification. In the next lecture, we will see about that bridge rectifier and how it operates.